Hey, my name is Hannah Hepworth, and I help women feel less stress and anxiety through simple, natural tools so that they can feel more peaceful and live life to their fullest potential. I'm so glad that you're joining me today for this video. I applaud you for taking time out of your busy schedule. So I wanted to start off by sharing a little bit about my story and kind of where I've come from and why I'm even interested in this in the first place. And then I'm going to teach you some really powerful things that you can do to start healing your body of anxiousness and stress and all that yuckiness that nobody wants to experience. So about 8 years ago, I had 2 little ones at home, and I began feeling a lot of anxiety and stress, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and I kept thinking, this has got to go away at some point, right? And it just lingered, it stayed, and I started having panic attacks in different places, and I was tired all the time, I couldn't sleep, I felt like garbage, I just didn't feel like myself. At one point, even like the left side of my face and my arm went numb. It was really, really scary, and I didn't know what was going on with my body. And so I decided to go visit our family doctor. And usually I'm a pretty natural girl and kind of try to figure things out on my own, but I was just so desperate for answers. So I thought, okay, he can run some blood tests, surely he's going to find something. So when I went back in to go over the results with him, he said, congratulations, Hannah, good news, you're perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just a little stressed. Take a nap, and here, take this anti-anxiety medication. And you know what? I was so beside myself at that point. I was so just wanting to have freedom from those feelings that I took it for a couple months. And I can honestly tell you that the only thing that it did for me was it made me sleep at night. And so I kind of had an escape from those anxious feelings. But during the day, I just felt weird and foggy and like I was living in this haze, and I was very detached from everybody. And I just didn't like the way that I felt. And so I realized, okay, if I want to take my health into my own hands, if I want to heal, I've got to take my health into my own hands. And I was a bit frustrated that the doctor, he didn't ask me anything about what are you eating? You know, are you taking any supplements? Do you exercise? How are your stress levels? How do you sleep at night? Are you doing anything that you enjoy in your free time? Like nothing at all about, you know, what I was doing in my day-to-day life. It was just like, take a nap, take this pill. And so unfortunately, a lot of doctors, a lot of people have the same experience. And a lot of people have this desire to do things on their own and to not have to rely on medication. So I told you after 2 months, I stopped taking the medication and I decided, all right, I've got to take my health into my own hands. I dove headfirst in and I started learning everything that I could about anxiety, depression, panic attacks, nutrition, herbs, supplements, like everything that I could that was related to anxiety and stress and all of that stuff I was learning about and just eating it up. And one thing that I really learned through all of this was that the foundation of your health, of how you feel, of your mood, of so much is nutrition. And it seems too easy. It seems too good to be true, or like there shouldn't be a correlation between your food and the way that you feel, but there is. There's a huge correlation. Even Mark Hyman, who wrote the Ultramind Solution, Dr. Mark Hyman, he says that nutrition is the most underutilized treatment for anxiety. And there's different psychology journals coming out saying, you know, nutrition is definitely a viable part of any treatment plan for anybody with any sort of mental disorder. And so the research is in, it's being done. There's so much to back this up. And so in this video, I really want to share with you 3 things that you really want to stay away from if you struggle with feeling anxious, and 3 foods that you can start adding to your diet to start supporting your body and helping it handle stress better, so that you can start healing and just deal with the stresses in your life better than ever, okay? So first off, and this is definitely not a comprehensive list by any means. I could talk about this topic for an entire day straight, just hours and hours on end. But the 3 top things that we're gonna talk about, the first one is sugar. And sugar, nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to give it up because it's delicious, it's addicting. We eat it every day. It's in every single food that we eat. But sugar is a neurotoxin. That means that it is toxic to your nervous system. And if you're in a parasympathetic state, you're in the fight or flight state, and you're feeling anxious and jittery and nervous and stressed out all the time, your nervous system needs to be nurtured as much as possible, and you want to avoid any sort of food that is going to stimulate your nervous system anymore. So sugar is definitely something you need to get rid of. Eating too much sugar also impacts your blood sugar levels, and your blood sugar levels can directly correspond with how stressed and anxious you feel. One thing that I noticed, I thought that I was having panic attacks because it was the grocery store, because I had a panic attack in the grocery store, or at story time when I brought my kids to the library. But it wasn't the place that triggered the panic attack. It was the fact that I was always going out of the house with my kids right before lunch. So I hadn't eaten for hours. My blood sugar was low. I felt yucky. I had low energy. I was jittery. And then anything that was stressful just sent my body off in this spin of a panic attack. And once I figured out that correlation, and it took a while to see the correlation, but once I did, I was able to make sure that I was eating more regularly. I was eating a little bit more often. I was eating foods that were, higher in protein or more filling. And so there's definitely things that you can do. But sugar, for sure, it's inflammatory. So nothing that is inflammatory, everything that is inflammatory, you definitely want to stay away from. And anything that inflames any part of your body is also going to inflame your brain. And a brain that is inflamed is one that is going to have difficulty, whether it manifests itself as depression, anxiety, whatever it is. There's always a component of inflammation in there as well. So sugar is not your friend. Start reducing it today. The next thing, and it kind of goes in line with sugar, is really white foods. Okay, so white flour, white rice, those types of things, white flour, carby processed products, they're going to react in your body the same way sugar does. It's going to spike your blood sugar. It's going to make you have then blood sugar dips. It's going to make you feel jittery and nervous. Also, all of the nutrients are stripped from it. And so you're filling up your body with all of these empty calories and no nutrients. So then if you're full, you're not going to have room for other foods that you should be consuming. And so then it becomes a vitamin and mineral deficiency in your body eventually, after eating just all of these nutrient devoid foods for too long. So you want to stay away from all of those just nutrient void white foods. So white flour, white rice, and all of the white floury products, bagels, muffins, donuts, all that kind of stuff. I know they sound delicious, but they're really not doing your body any good, and it just adds to your stress response. It just adds to the total burden of stress on your body. And what we want to do is we want to reduce that burden of stress in your body and bring down those feelings of anxiousness. And then the last thing that I want to make note of is that the third thing is you really want to make sure that you're getting rid of fake sugar. So things that say diet, things that say sugar-free are going to have fake sugar in it. That's could be the name go by aspartame, sucralose. Those are chemicals. That's all they are. They're chemicals. They're not real. It's not sugar. Even high fructose corn syrup, highly inflammatory and not good for your body. And some people say is even more addictive than cocaine. And so you want to steer clear of these fake sugars because they're also neurotoxic and have been linked to all sorts of crazy things. From multiple sclerosis to migraines to anxiety and depression. I mean, you name it. You really, really want to get the fake yucky sugars out of your diet. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, I can't have any white products or sugar. What the heck am I going to eat? There's so many things you can eat. So many things, and things that are going to be so much more supportive to your body. So the first thing that I want to talk about is getting whole grains in your diet. Now, I have tried numerous diets. I've tried the keto, I've tried the grain-free, the paleo, the gluten-free, the dairy-free, the everything, okay? I've done it all, and I always come back to, after a certain point, after a few months of being, keto or paleo or whatever, I start to feel kind of hollow inside. And I feel like I need something more substantial for my energy levels. Because that, when you're feeling anxious and you're feeling really stressed out all the time, it really impacts your energy levels. And that was one huge complaint that I had as a mom. I had these little kids to take care of, and I had no energy. And I was saying no to them all the time about doing anything. It was just like, I just need to rest. And I got sick all the time, caught every cold and flu, and it was just awful. So you want your body to have lots of good sources of energy. And so whole grains, complex carbohydrates are a great source of this. They also help produce serotonin in your body, which is the happy mood chemical. They provide prebiotics for the gut bacteria in your body to have good foods so that those good bugs in your gut can grow and be healthy and thrive. And we could do a whole video on just like the gut-brain connection and how issues with your gut affect your brain. But that's for another day. But whole grains are very, very important for a healthy body and a healthy mood. So brown rice, if I'm going to be eating gluten-containing grains, then you definitely, especially with just regular wheat, you want to try and get organic because they spray it with a lot of chemicals before they harvest it. And if you can get sprouted or sourdough products that are wheat-based, then you're doing good. Sourdough is such an amazing health food. I'm going to be doing a training on that sometime soon, but such a wonderful thing for your body. So at first, right now, if you eat white rice, switch it for brown. Or with your white rice, add a little quinoa in there when you're cooking it for some added nutrition. Just make little baby steps to start adding in those nutrient-dense foods. And really, when I teach people in my course how to start eating, I don't focus as much on you need to get rid of this, this, and this, because when you're told that you can't have something, it makes you want it that much more, and it's really, really hard, and it feels restrictive. But what I do is really focus on what you can eat and should be eating, and just filling up your day with those nutritious foods, and so the other foods just kind of naturally drop away, and it's just this natural process. So whole grains, definitely. At first, when I start working with people, though, for the first 30 days, I have them get off grains and sugar and a whole host of food allergens for the first 30 days. And this is kind of to reset and detox your body. And I have a whole 30-day meal plan that I give to my clients when they do my program. And it's really, really simple. It's normal ingredients, easy recipes that you can buy, everything at a normal grocery store for, but it just kind of resets your body. And after the 30 days, you realize, oh, I don't need sugar as much as I need to, as I thought that I did. Or, man, I feel a lot better when I'm not eating all of the white pastry kind of junky things, or rolls and white breads and bagels and things like that. So it's just kind of a nice cleansing period, that first 30 days. Okay, so the next thing that is really, really good for your body are avocados. They are rich in B vitamins, and when you're feeling really anxious, your nervous system is shot. You might have experienced this, or you might be experiencing it right now. Like, you're really sensitive to noise, you feel on edge all the time, maybe you're really sensitive to pain or cold or hot. Your nervous system is just on high alert because you're just so stressed out. And your nervous system needs B vitamins. Well, tomorrow I'm going to talk about supplements, but I am going to say that a B complex supplement can be super duper helpful for your nervous system. But for the time being, avocados, They are loaded with B vitamins and also healthy fats. Healthy fats are so important. There are unhealthy fats and there are healthy fats. And every single cell in your brain, of which there are billions, is surrounded by a coating of fat. And your body needs the right type of fat so that those cell coatings will be healthy and fluid, and so that your brain cells can communicate easily with one another. When you eat yucky fats, hydrogenated fats, processed oils, those cell membranes become rigid and they're not able to communicate with each other well, and that's when you get issues in the brain. So avocados, you can add them to smoothies, you can have them on salads, you can do the guacamole. I mean, anymore, you can buy a big tub of guacamole very inexpensively. Make your own at home. I love adding an avocado to my smoothies. It makes it nice and creamy and smooth, and that little bit of extra fat just helps fill me up even more and keep me full for longer. Okay, so the third food that I want to talk about is kale or other leafy greens. These are rich in phytonutrients, which are nutrients that are only found in plants, and high in antioxidant. And there's a research study out of the University of New York that talks about how low levels of antioxidants are associated with higher levels of anxiety. So there's this mood antioxidant relationship happening as well. So having a daily green smoothie is such a great practice. You don't have to have it for breakfast. You can have it for a midday snack. You can have it for an evening time treat instead of ice cream. That's what I do sometimes. And just getting those leafy greens in your diet, so good for you. Okay, so those are just 3 foods that you can start adding into your diet. I could literally talk about nutrition for the rest of this day, but I won't. To keep this video, short enough so that you'll actually get through it. Tomorrow I will be talking about supplements. There are so many supplements that you can take to support your body. I'm going to share my top 2 or 3 supplements that I really found to be super helpful when I was going through that really terrible, anxious period of my life. And they did so much to help support my body and help in the healing process. So tomorrow, be on the lookout for a video where I'm going to talk about supplements. I'm going to post this video on my blog at hannahhepworth.com, and it's also going to be on my Hannah Hepworth Facebook page. So if you can comment below this video, share some insights. What did you take away from this? How are you feeling? What else do you need help with? Share the love, share the videos, comment, like them so that more people can see them, because this is something that so many people, tens of millions just in the United States are going through. Yet I really don't feel like it's talked about very much. And I feel like it's not abnormal to feel anxious from time to time, and it's definitely normal to feel stress frequently, but it's when those anxiety levels get so high that it starts impacting our day-to-day life and we can't have any relief and respite from it, that's when your body's telling you something. It's sending a signal saying, hey, you need to pay attention to me, you need to start supporting me and taking care of me better. And I'm truly grateful that I went through this horrific at the time experience that lasted a few years, but it taught me so much about my body and how to take care of it. So now I know how to teach my children, and I have energy now, and I can be a better mom and do the things that I want to do. And I want that for you as well. I want you to feel like there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You will heal, you will feel normal again. This doesn't have to be your new normal. This doesn't have to be a constant in your life every single day. And there are so many tools and so many things that you can do to heal your body. So stick with me, watch for video 2 tomorrow, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.